Look, I don't give a fuck if Twitch wants to allow porn on their site. That's their platform. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. But all what I'm asking is for equal and fair enforcement, right? And calling that out. Now, look, a lot of people say, well, Andrew, isn't there something legal we can do? And this is one of those instances where I have to be honest with people. And instead of trying to grift and saying, oh, yeah, here's some novel legal strategy, saying, nope, Twitch is going to win this one. If you tried to come after them with a lawsuit as a class, saying you are discriminating against us as VTubers, you will lose because it's not a protected class. Now, somebody came out and said, oh, well, they're employees, right? Because they're working. No. If you're a streamer, you are not an employee. They make that very specific in the terms of service. So anybody who is trying to say, oh, yeah, we're going to file a workplace discrimination, this is not your fucking workplace. I know you think it is, but it's actually not. You're not an employee, and you don't understand the meaning of the word employee. And that's a common problem. So let's go over the policies themselves, huh? We've got the main one here that everyone is having issues with. So let's go over that one here. And this is the one relating to hips, etc., which is when evaluating reports for sexual conduct, attire is just one factor we will use in making a determination on whether conduct is acceptable. So obviously they're looking at behavior as well. We recommend streamers wear attire that would be appropriate for the context, location, activity they are broadcasting. For example, workout clothes would be appropriate for a fitness stream, and a swimsuit would be appropriate for a stream from a public beach. See, this is a problem. This is a problem. And this is their fucking loophole, which they allow the flesh tubers to walk through. They allow the Asian money X's, etc., to walk through. Is they say, oh, it's a hot tub, and that's appropriate for a hot tub or a pool, etc. So therefore, you can wear a swimsuit. Therefore, you wear a swimsuit. But because no VTuber is ever at an actual hot tub or pool, you can't ever wear that because it's not appropriate. Right? The attire policy applies to VTubers in the same way it applies to other streamers. Genitalia, buttocks, hips, female presented nipples. I like female presented. That's interesting. Underbust must be covered at all times. Hip coverage is often forgotten in this rule, but please make sure your VTuber model covers this area. This is the big one. That's the one that everyone's really paying attention to. Festival and beach wear allows slightly more revealing clothing when within the relevant context, allowing the showing of hips and underbust, but genitalia and female presenting nipples must still be covered. Static or slightly animated artwork for scenes such as stream starting and be right back and stream ending artwork must follow the guidelines. If you're in a setting such as a pool, hot tub, or beach that may not be real, props do not require water within them to still consider you in the correct context. Your context is required to be in the correct category and apply any of the applicable content classification labels. If we cannot functionally tell whether or not you are closed or implying you are not, they're going to hit you. But here's the fucked up thing. That's not how they're enforcing this, right? So the problem is they can say all of these things, but when they're not enforcing it, it's a problem. There's more here. Direct links to websites that promote sexual content are not allowed in your content, which is bullshit because we see all of these girls, the flesh tubing girls, the e-girls, the e-girls all have links to their OnlyFans. They all have links to other explicit content, which is a fucking lie, right? The link tree to the OF, exactly. So, and these are big names. And so Twitch knows about them. And they're not hiding it at all. Positioning your camera to highlight intimate body parts is not allowed. Prohibited example, stretching your legs apart in view of the camera for extended period of times. So Asian girl and poolside girl with a specific camera on their lady bits is allowed? Or rather, it's just not enforced? I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. It seems like it's clear unequal enforcement here, especially if this has been a pre-existing standard which they're just clarifying. Now, there is a guideline document which has come out. So this is one that apparently, according to a lot of sources, this is older. By the way, shout out to Josh, Inaka Adventure, Meme Copium in the chat. He does a lot of stuff on Rings of Power. I think he's hanging around. But anyways, we don't permit streamers to be fully or partially nude, including exposing genitalia and buttocks. We do not permit the visible outline of genitals when, especially when covered, even when covered. Broadcasting nude or partially nude minors is always prohibited. Well, that's fair enough. For those who present as women, we ask you cover your nipples. We do not permit exposed underbust. Cleavage is unrestricted as long as the coverage requirements are met. For all streamers, you must cover the area extending from your hips to the bottom of your pelvis and buttocks. From these areas of the body where coverage is required, the coverage must be fully opaque, sheer, or see-through. Augmented reality avatars that translate real-life movement into digital characters are subject to the standard, as is cosplay and others' costumes. To see how it applies IRL, outdoors, body art, please continue reading. So here you go. No, none of this where I guess the nips are showing in here. None of this where you see the camel toe and you can't be bulging. Get that dance belt out. Hide that bulge. And obviously you're seeing the hip is fully covered here. Or at least, covered in that portion. So we're going to get into this when we're going through examples on whether it complies or does not comply. So let's talk about this. Now, this is an unofficial one. Someone just made this up. But I think this is actually pretty accurate. So I want to share this with you guys. So the green is permissible. The orange the pink must be covered, and yellow is a maybe. So let's zoom in here real quick. So male is kind of easy. Male is hip and groin must be covered, but can show chest, right? So got to cover your thing. Got to cover your thing, including your line. So this is a big thing too. The cock lines and the coochie lines, they got to be covered. And you know what I'm talking about. The line extending up over here, got to cover those lines, okay? No mound. Now, with the female, it's a lot more interesting. So yellow is maybe, right? So side boob is questionable. It's questionable. It may or may not be under boob. But everything here has got to be covered. The side boob is that uncanny valley. We don't know. We don't know. So that's led us to, of course, some funny stuff. Obviously, if you saw my thumbnail, you saw this, obviously. It's Lithia Vey. Oh, I didn't give her a follow yet. I'll give her a follow for this. Got hips, exposed hips. Hide them away from Twitch's TOS with the VTuber chastity belt. Available for free on my Ko-Fi. Hilarious. Hilarious. All right, let's listen to some Asman, and I'll see whether I agree with him or not. I'm going to listen to this on 1.25x because it's 26 minutes, and I want to cut that down. So here we go. Twitch is 100% cooked, and this is about the new rules.
Going forward, we'll use enforcement notes to outline how our rules to apply to trends that we see on Twitch. If a new, quote, meta violates an existing policy, we see a spike in our data. Well, let's see what the new meta is for today.
Once again, I think she's an objectively attractive streamer. This is actually really tame behavior for her, right? Her titties aren't bouncing around right now. She's not jumping up and down or doing the jiggle bot or whatever the hell else it is. But this would be okay. This would be okay. Although I'm like, is there panties exposed here or not? If there are, maybe not. Mirror meta. You got to see what's in the mirror as well.
This has got to be like, yeah. All right.
Well, it's covered too. That gets it's opaque here. It may be flesh color, but it's opaque.
Seems decent. I feel like there's nothing really. Yeah, I feel like she's not even really doing anything crazy at all. She's just sitting there.
Oh, I'm wondering, is that exposed panty? I don't know. It does. It's on the edge, but still.
This is rather conservative for her. This is extremely conservative. Let's go see another one. What about this girl? She doing anything crazy? No. There any more of these? Okay, all right. This girl, yeah, I know her.
I'm not objecting. Once again, not objecting, but okay. Side boob, little questionable there. Hips are covered though, so would
go on ASMR. All favorite. No, I mean I know who these people are, right?
Asian boob.
This is pretty tame. Yeah, there's nothing even going on here. I was just watching this. You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Man, what a great stream. All sitting, the mirror meta? Yeah, but they're not standing up. Like the mirror meta was like only working whenever they would bend over in front of the camera, and then you could look at the mirror,
no underboob,
right? And so it's not really what's going on.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna be real. This is, I know I have a crazy opinion on this. I don't care if they show porn on Twitch.
And I agree with that. But the thing is, if you're gonna do that, the problem is you have to enforce it equally for both the regular streamers and the VTubers, right? So for e-girls and for VTubers, they have to be equal. That's all.
I could not give a fuck. And you know why? Because if you don't like it, just don't turn it on.
That's very true.
Turn it off.
Agree with that.
Turn it off. Don't look at it. Don't watch it.
Agree with that.
Twitch has the same limitations that Twitter does for an individual to make an account. So if you want to say that Twitch should...
But X enforces stuff very fairly. X does not censor anime differently than it censors regular stuff. And it doesn't censor. You can post porn on X. It's cool, right? And you know, in fact, I was like shocked the other day because I was looking at Sulia's page, and Sulia had one of those, like, you click a certain amount of likes and then I'm going to give you the spicy version of the photo. And I'm like, wow, that's a version of Maury Callipy I haven't seen before. But hey, we're on X. Like spicy Maury. All right. Nice.
Do it because there are underage people on the website. Apply that same logic to Twitter and every other social media platform. Amazon would never go for that. Amazon would never go for that. I don't care. I'm just telling you what my opinion is. 13+ site, by the way. Here's the thing. If it's a 13+ site, then why are you able to play video games that are 17+ that have sexual content, like The Witcher 3 that has nudity in the opening scene? You think you want to show that? Like if I went to a fucking elementary school or I went to a middle school and I showed that to kids there, I'd be in fucking jail. It's very obvious that you're not supposed to show that content to children. It's a fucking fact.
That's true.
Everybody knows that. So if
and that's the problem. The problem is that unlike X, the age is 13. And they know they're targeting children. They know that they say, and Twitch knows. We've gone over the data on this channel, and I've gone over it before on other channels. Twitch knows that their primary audience is very young. They know this, and they know that they're underage. They're intentionally targeting teenagers, children, legal children. Right? And what I mean is legally they constitute children. They're not adults. So they are targeting children. That's the problem, and that's what makes it evil. And that's what I do agree with here, the bad part of it here.
That's simple. If you are under the age of consent, you should not be allowed to make a social media account, and these streams should only be viewable with people, by people with social media accounts. That's what I think. That's my opinion. And content that's curated explicitly and specifically for underage audiences like YouTube Kids is totally fine. But the accounts that those people should have should not be able to send or receive any form of communication.
Yes, true.
That's what I believe.
Has been W on this.
That's what I think. So let's look at some of the rules. Let's see what Twitch is doing. So I want to preface all this by saying that's what I think. That's what I think. Like, because if we want to look at it from like, how do you do something that works in the best interest of other people? That's what I would say it is, right? And who's supposed to enforce age controls? Twitch does. Twitch enforces age controls right now. You type that you're 12, you get permabanned. Don't do it. You actually get permabanned. It's happened to my viewers. Actually, don't do it. They do it all the time. Daladoran, remember him? Mm-hmm. The DK that we used to play with, the guy's account banned because
Don't joke with it, yeah.
And so anyway, we have this is like community notes. It would be funny if I said for hoes, but that's not that. That would be disrespectful to women. Community notes for women who like to express themselves in a sexual way. That of course is totally acceptable, and there's nothing wrong with that because feminism is good. But yeah. That's what I meant to say, right? And so we have these new rules. When evaluating reports for sexual conduct, attire is just one factor we'll use when making a determination. We recommend streamers wear attire that would be publicly appropriate for the context. If they're actively broadcasting in workout clothes, that's a fitness stream, a swimsuit should be appropriate. The attire policy applies to VTubers in the same way that applies to other streamers. Genitalia, buttocks, hips, female presented nipples. Ooh, you got to get around the transphobia accusations by saying something that's weird like that. Basically, chicks' nipples are against the rules. Underbutt.
Also, real quick, Kieran said Virginia already did this, by the way, with prawn sites. Really? Did they? Interesting. Also, somebody just emailed me a HoloLive person to review, so we'll do that after we get to this video.
But you think about this. So a man with man tits can have underboob, but not nipples. I mean, look, guys, I'm just reading the rules. I'm just trying to look. I'm just trying to understand. What? I'm just trying to understand the rules. Am I wrong for trying to understand it? That's it. I'm just trying to learn. I'm sorry for trying to educate myself. Anyway, what's this? Guidelines apply to VTuber models, but not video game characters, including those uploaded to games such as VR chat. So this is going to be a problem because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. VR chat, people are going to go into VR chat and then focus their content around girls that are dancing. Like there's so many hoes on VR chat. Like it's basically a hopocalypse in VR chat. Like I haven't seen, the crazy thing is that I have never seen a clip of VR chat that did not have a hoe in it.
This is true. This is not wrong.
Hoyoverse? That's a good one. I like that. But yeah. I've not even one time have I seen it. And so, that's all raffle getters content. Yeah, so they're just going to focus on them. Hip coverage is often forgotten in this rule. Please make sure that your VTuber model covers this area. Festival beachwear allows slightly. And again, guys, we already have VTubers that are they're taking this very seriously, and they're making sure that they're not going to break any rules or do anything wrong. And so we are solving this problem. Everything is okay. And what is this here? Festival beachwear allows slightly more revealing clothing, allowing showing the hips and underbust, but genitalia and female presenting nipples, but still discovered. So let me get this straight. So if there's a VTuber, all right. So let's go ahead and let's basically create let's create a foundation here. So basically it depends on where your character is. Okay. All right. Let me just take a step back. So beachwear and pools, hot tubs, and beaches, settings such as pool, hot tub, or beach that may not be real. Props do not require water within them for us to still consider you in the right context.
I wouldn't believe that at all for VTubers. They're not going to enforce that. They're going to ban you if you're going and getting too spicy, especially, by the way, if you have a lolly model. So like Lumi, that young model. Yeah, be careful with that one.
So basically, a girl cannot be at a beach and she can have a pool that doesn't have water in it, but she's still technically able to have the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category. So if there's a pool on the screen and then she categorizes herself, and I'm just following the rules, right? I'm just, look, my teachers in school hated me for thinking like this, right? Like they fucking hate. I remember one time I went into class and I was eating Funyuns.
But this is true. Okay, I didn't hear about his Funyuns, but this part is pretty accurate and on point. So the point is that like if you're and I'm gonna fast forward to maybe like this part here, right? Hold on. Yeah, so I think it gets into like the VTubers when he actually starts looking at VTubers here, right? And I think whose chat is this? Chat, you guys can tell me which VTuber this is. I'm gonna rewind a little bit here.
And her title is Moans and Horror.
Lucy Pyre. It's Lucy Pyre.
Right.
Wait, Chatty. Let's go. Am I ending the game? Is it over?
Right.
Yippee! It's over! I already beat the game!
What about the feet, though?
Polly says...
See, he's pointing out the feet. Like, now I think this is an adult model. So, no, the breasts are covered. The hips look to be covered. I don't see any gutters, but there's a foot. I think it's okay.
Don't be daft. Aw. Polly is not.
She's
gonna have
not
a good day.
doing
She
anything
is
with the
this
feet.
man.
Uh-oh.
Is anybody here? Is it just me?
Uh-oh.
It's supposed to be a crew though. Chatty,
Feet
why did
lobby
you-
always wins. So is feet so degenerate that they don't
Fastest
even make
game playthrough yet.
it?
Yeah, I told you
Feet
it
is
was
so
a game
degenerate they don't
1.0.
even make it against the rules.
Damn. Is Polly like a propaganda poster?
Is that what's going on here?
Okay, come on, man.
I don't like that. I think it
Chatty,
should be
go back.
against the rules.
Chatty, it's over for us.
I don't like looking at feet. It's
Chatty,
disgusting.
we're so fucking dead. Chatty, we're so fucking dead. All the
Shondo got
lights are going
suspended.
Shondo's
What
a
did she get
lollymop.
suspended for?
It's done. We're cooked. Wait,
They
let me
got-
out. Wait, let me through.
She got suspended for
Daddy?
feet.
Hey.
Good.
Could you?
Thank God. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. It's not working.
I'll take though and from Asman. I think the feet, look, listen, the way Shondo did feet was just like appearing through a portal. It was very innocuous. And I have no problem with the way that Shondo showed her feet. Right. So like that was not a sexual thing. She was not sexualizing it. It was humorous. Right. I think that's an L take. I think that's an L take. Especially since in these beach streams, these e-thoughts are showing their feet too. So nah, not buying that one. But just want to play a little bit of that video because he got into that.